The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's Thursday. It's Korner Booth pregame.
You ready? No debate, cause it's soft. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant. Slay the competition, cause I'm walking like a giant. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, corner booth.
I see myself. Kate, I feel like I have not officially said this. I've tiptoed around it. Kate, will you marry me?
Do I have to answer now? Or
No, you have time. You can think about it. You can think about a way to say no without hurting my feelings if you want.
Oh
lovely. I'll send you a letter.
Just don't even.
Alright, cool. Thank you. I'll send you my address later so you can send it to my house.
Yeah, I'm never giving you my address. I don't want you getting that close.
Oh, I know.
I mean, shit, I might as well join, right? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, welcome to the Korner Booth pregame. I am your host, Jared Clem, alongside this magnificent bastard who finally figured his microphone settings out pre-show. Ladies and gentlemen, our TikTok great, the content monster, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Ordazzo. And now, I'm going to try this. This is going to be great. I have only talked to this man for 45 seconds. I just know he's from the South. He loves his Braves. He loves baseball, and he loves college football. Ladies and gentlemen, host of the South End Zone podcast. He knew his podcast in the Belly Up Sports family. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Bailey.
How are y'all doing, man? How's it going?
Good, man. Listen, welcome in. I appreciate you coming on. I just said, shot in the dark. Let me reach out to a show that I've like had good interactions with at my like professional job at Belly Up. Let me actually see if they want to come on my show. And Jason, and for the folks at home who have never been here before, Korner the pregame is a little more chill. We drink, we talk shit, we talk sports. Like shit, we might start talking country music for 20 minutes. Like literally, Jason, on one of our shows during COVID, two of my former co-hosts debated Skinner versus Allman Brothers for an hour and a half. And I wish I was kidding. See, my mother, who's from South Carolina, would beat my ass if I said it was not Allman Brothers, but I am partial to Skinner because it influenced my favorite band, Whiskey Myers. But I respect both of them equally. But I have love more for Skinner because it's more my style. But either way, I know Matt's a big Skinner guy, so he's just sitting there.
I'm gonna go with the band that I've seen about 5 or 6 times live, and that would be Skinner.
See
us,
yeah.
On the spot, they're either gonna love or hate me right out of the gate. But I would have to say Allman Brothers, man.
Hey, listen, I respect it. You're not disrespecting us about it. You just love them more. It's okay. They're both great Southern rock bands.
Yeah, I mean, Skinner's really good when it's the fourth quarter and, Alabama wins and they play Sweet Home Alabama after the game's over. Like, I love that, but Skinner's not a regular on my playlist.
Yeah. Listen, so I'm guessing you are am I assuming Bama fan right now? Roll Tide?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you'll love this.
Fan.
One of the founding members of this show and one of the guys in the intro video, the guy who proposes to the girl, one of my best friends, probably going to be one of my groomsmen in my wedding whenever the fuck I'm dumb enough to get married. Kevin is a Alabama graduate. The dude bleeds crimson and white. Like, this dude is Bama everything. So I've been conditioned to love Bama, even though the last time they played my team, Jameson Williams took one up the sideline for like 100 yards. And I sat there just like, fuck, it's week 1, man. God damn it. I'm a Miami Hurricanes. I'm a Canes fan.
Happens to a lot, of people, man. Don't worry about it.
Listen, he took our best corner, who's now a member of the Bears. It was like our first corner draft. Is already burned. Takes him up the sideline 90 yards. I'm like, fuck, that's how today's going.
Well, it could be worse, man. You guys, I'm not sure if you pulled the ripcord or not before they got the brakes beat off of them by Middle Tennessee State last year. So at least it was Alabama back then, because it's gotten consistently worse since then.
Well,
so
I'll
hopefully you're okay, man.
I'm actually good because we went and actually got like ourselves a top 10 recruiting class coming in. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, man.
And-
John Ruiz and his big fat wallet bringing the players down, dog. That's what I'm
Hey,
talking
we just
about.
pay him. Y'all doesn't offer him Mercedes Benz from that dealership he yells. I mean,
Gotta get them bags handed out to them players. Get them in there.
hey, listen, anything's better than Tennessee handing out McDonald's bags full of cash. Okay.
Oh God.
I know how much love y'all got for Rocky Top.
Yeah, less love than I've got for what I'm drinking right now. So,
What are you drinking right now? I've been questioning it.
well, it's Coca-Cola with some like hotel quality whiskey mixed in it, just to give it
Okay.
a little.
I gotta ask, what do you constitute as hotel quality whiskey? Because up here in the north, we got some shitty ass whiskey up here. We also have some phenomenal stuff. So I gotta ask, what constitutes hotel quality? You talking like Jim Beam bargain bin shit or what?
It actually is Jim Beam. Yeah, it was like the shit that you can buy in the hotel that's probably been in the back of the cooler for like 9 years, and it's a little sour, but it'll do the trick to loosen me up a little bit. So we're
There
good.
you go.
Man.
Right now I'm drinking Bell's Two Hearted IPA because it's got a little grapefruit taste, a little bitterness. I love it. I was gonna do bourbon, but I'm like, all I got left in my house is all my favorites, and I'm like not trying to blow that through on a Thursday. I got 2 bottles of Buffalo Trace left. That is my favorite bourbon. And I went and tried that on my own without the influence of Yellowstone. Now, I do love the show, and I did find this out afterward that one of the main characters, me and him have the same pair of boots. I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool. I like that. And I was like, shit, he wears Ariats too.
They're gonna hate me even worse, man. I've never watched Yellowstone.
Personally, I was drunk off my ass. I was sick and tired of watching something. I'm like, fuck it. I got a DVR on because the YouTube TV, by the way, best DVR of all time. I will fight anybody on that answer. I have 22 TV shows full, like end to end, fully recorded, ready to rock and roll whenever I need to watch something. And like I've gotten around subscriptions to like Peacock and a few other things because the shows will play. Like I have no interest in getting Peacock. There's no reason for it, but I have all 3 shows that NBC plays that I love on recording. I think it's Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Office, and Parks and Rec, all DVR'd, every season, every episode, ready to rock and roll. And it's just like great because I don't have to. I already pay the $75 a month for the thing, but like I basically get all the shit I need. And during the NCAA tournament, the 4 screens for games is awesome. Now, I wish they offered some kind of benefits package with extra innings because living in Connecticut, I don't get many Diamondbacks games. I am looking forward to May 27th when the Red Sox come to go to Phoenix because now I'll get to watch that one. And me and Matt, our boy Maserati, we're actually heading down for Yankees Diamondbacks in September. So I'm excited for that one too. I haven't been to the new stadium since
nice.
A-Rod was still swinging the bat for them.
Yeah, I used to live in Connecticut, so I feel sorry for you, man. I used to live
what section of Maddie's a Connecticut boy too. What part of Connecticut?
Oh man, I used to live in Groton, dude. I used to be in the Navy. Oh
shit, Groton. My boy, my cousin-in-law worked at the sub base for like 10 years.
Oh yeah, I used to be there, man. That's where I went to school when I joined the Navy for like about 6-7 months. I used to live there, and it was the coldest fucking place on earth. So
you think that's fucking cold? Wait till you go to northern New York, man. Whew. That's cold.
It snows up there from like September to like May.
My buddies
lived in Rochester for like 5-6 years, and they were like, you got 3 good months out of the year of great weather, and then the rest of like the 9 months or so were just like terrible. It's cold.
Yeah, no thanks, man. I like it down south where you can feel the humidity before you even walk outside.
Yeah, no, we have one of our other co-hosts who can't make things. He's driving back from Norman to Houston. He actually, he's from I think West Houston, or I can't remember where he's from, but he's lived there his entire life. He goes, I was talking about possibly trying to find a job in Houston because I love the state of Texas. I've always wanted to live there. I'm trying to see if Belly Up would move their headquarters there when they're when we go all official. And my boy basically goes, Jared, it's hot as fuck down here. I'm like, I'll adjust. I'm one of those guys. You give me about 3 weeks in a place, I'll adjust to the climate. It doesn't really bother me. I can't do like wet and cold, like wet rainstorms, like Portland, the Northwest. Fuck that shit. Politics aside, I would hate it, but like climate, fuck that. I would never live anywhere close there.
I lived an hour from Seattle for like 5 years, bro. Yeah, it rains like, I mean,
and it's like, isn't like always like 40, 45 degrees there? It's like, during the
45 and rainy. I think the longest streak I ever remember was like 51 days in a row. It rained. It was pretty brutal. So
51 days in a row. That's insane.
Yeah, man. So I wouldn't recommend if you don't like it cold and wet, I wouldn't recommend Seattle.
There's days where we go like 3 or 4 weeks without any rain over here.
Yeah, we get
same down here, man.
Jason, where are you living at now? You don't mind me asking.
I live in North Alabama.
Okay.
But I work on the road all the time. At least I am this week and next week until I start my new job. But so I'm in hotels all over the place. I'm in like Atlanta area right now. So.
Nice. You gonna catch a Braves
game?
Yeah, man.
I got Well, I haven't been to one since the home opener. I went and watched them beat the Padres in a walk-off fashion, and
that was a good game. By the way, I actually got to catch that one on. I think I had an extra innings trial I used. And I got to watch the end of that one. It was a good game.
Man, you don't have T-Mobile? You gotta get get T-Mobile, man.
I'm from the north, man. I got AT&T.
Nah, dog, you gotta get that T-Mobile. You get
north
that free
of the
MLB
Mason-Dixon
TV.
line. The best cell phone service will always be AT&T. It has service literally in the side of a tree in the backwoods. But you get South of Maryland, and Verizon and T-Mobile are the go-tos.
Yeah, up here your choices are AT&T and Verizon.
I would trade some good service for that MLB TV.
I would too. I mean, the single team package is like, I think it's like 110 right now. And I'm about to see if Matt wants to go halves with me, and we'll just split it like 60-60. And we'll just
I just subscribed to the Yes app because I tried doing the YouTube TV, not the YouTube TV, the MLB TV thing, and I can't watch the Yankee games. Even when they were
right, because you're too close. They still have blackout on that.
But even when they were in Detroit, they still wouldn't show me the game. I'm like, I'm supposed to get every out of market game free. I got the 24 or whatever the thing was, or the single game, and I chose the Yankees, and they were like, no, we're not going to show you the game, even though it's 13 hours away.
Matty, good news is next year they're getting rid of the whole blackout rule. They're actually paying more for games to avoid the blackout rule because it's become such a problem in baseball. For me, I've had to go to these hero sites to find the games. Every 3 innings, I got to reset the link because it gets clocked because they're trying to keep MLB.com from finding the link. Listen, I'm just a happy baseball. I think all of our teams are in first or second place in our division right now. So
mine's fourth.
That's right. The AL Beast, man. Shit.
Dude,
that's a damn monster division, man. I thought the Red Sox were going to be fucking trash this year, and they're like their lineup has proved to be like really fucking good.
Yeah,
the one thing I will say with the Red Sox, I'm waiting for that pitching staff to fall apart. That is my thing. Like,
you got to think it's going to eventually. It's not. It ain't that great.
Let's look at
Chris Sale. Come on, man.
Dude, he's like Dollar Tree version of Randy Johnson. He tries so hard to be, but he'll never be my boy. Like the closest thing Randy Johnson we got right now is Zach Gallen because he went out and killed the bro with a curveball last week.
I saw that. God, that's brutal.
With a curveball. The skill that takes to hit him with a curveball. Oh my God! Listen, if that doesn't prove that's our next days, listen, he's tops in the league in AL Cy Young, like early returns for who's gonna win it. And listen, your Braves ain't got no slouches in that pitching staff. I am the biggest Spencer Strider fan of all time. MLB The Show, that is my dude to use when I get stuck with the Braves. I love hitting with Ronnie Acuna. That's no issue. And I like using Ozzy Albies because he's always good for an easy single. But dude, if I can get Strider on the mound, I am going to at least rack up 12 strikeouts and at least seven or 8 innings of like no hit ball before I get lazy.
Man, speaking about their rotation, if they could just keep the injuries from piling up, man, freaking Kyle Wright gone for a couple of months, Fried gone for a couple of months, but I think it's happening all over,
always
dude.
Fucking hurt though. He's always hurt.
Who, Fried?
Yeah, wasn't he hurt during the freaking playoffs when they won the fucking thing too? Or was that Charlie Morton?
Yeah, Morton, but no, Fried, he's actually pretty durable, man. He's a dude typically like if you play fantasy baseball, you can fucking stick him in your lineup and forget about him. You know, and
Listen,
he'll
skinny
just-
white boy who pitches for Atlanta. You got 3 of them, man. I was bound to get one of them mixed up.
yeah, the
I just
old
know
guy.
Strider's
That's
got
the
that
one you're thinking
badass
of.
mustache.
But,
so I
you
know,
know, and he's
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh geez, yeah. I like Strider because he changed his number to 99 to like mirror Rick Vaughn. You know, I'm a big major league fan, so I love that.
Yeah, you know what's weird though, and this is so right now, Matt, your Yankees are up 2-0 right now, so you can celebrate a little bit.
Great.
The Mets finally beat the Rays. That's can we also talk about the fact that the Mets have the largest payroll in baseball, I believe in baseball history or close to it, and they are right now 23-22 or 22-23 through almost a third of a quarter, a little over a quarter, less than a third of the season. I love it. I hate Mets because of Mets fans. I don't hate the players, but I've gone to so many Mets Diamondbacks games in my childhood that I literally despise the Mets fans. So like watching them suffer has become a sport for me.
Mets
Edwin
gonna Met,
Diaz.
man. I don't understand why they're so trash. Like they've got a good lineup, but their dudes just aren't performing. From Marte to, I mean, even Alonso's hitting 229 or something. I think he hit a bomb today though. So
Yeah. Well, they took 2 out of 3 from the Rays, but it's just like, dude, Verlander got fucking shelled on Friday. Like that was brutal.
Oh
On Tuesday, it was absolutely brutal. So I mean, I think we all thought like, oh, they replaced DeGrom with Verlander. It's gonna no problem. No, Justin Verlander is older than dirt, man. He was on my cover of MLB 2K11 when I was in high school. I graduated 10 years ago this year. Shit, like, dude, he's old as shit.
10
man.
years ago. Wow.
Yeah, me and Matt are young.
My 20-year reunion was like a month ago.
Wow.
Jace, you look pretty good for 20 years out of high school, brother. I'll give you that right now.
Well,
That's because I shaved the beard off, man. I just had drill and had to shave the beard off. I'm still a reservist, so normally I've got a real gray beard going on. So
Hey, listen, the beard is good, man. Listen, there's no issues with beards on this podcast. Mine, this is the shortest mine gets during the year, by the way. Like mine usually gets Matt. What do you think about right here? I get mine down to about.
Yeah, you grow the great goatee down there a little bit.
I do like a triangle beard off my face. It's the Viking genetics in me, but like Matt also then just comes out here with like this little like mohawk beard combo. Always puts me to shame every year, but I've actually never seen what Matt's chin looks like, and I've been friends with him for almost a decade. That should tell you something right there.
I've always had at least a couple.
That's my co-host Eric. He's got this big, massive, huge, bushy beard, and I'm like, I almost forgot what you look like. Like I haven't seen you without one since like 2008. It's weird. So
the thing is, I look like I'm like a 17 if I don't have a beard. That's the problem. It's always been an issue with me. So like I have a receding hairline with a beard, with no beard, and I look like I'm fucking like 17 with a really shitty genetics. And then I grow my beard back out, and I look like I'm either like 30 or like at least late 20s. So that's kind of the advantage with it. So I just kind of roll with it at this point. But back to baseball, my biggest thing is it seems like every year there's always that one team I'm like how are they this bad? I got 3 this year. First off, I don't get how the Cardinals, with how much talent is in that lineup and how much talent's in that rotation and bullpen, and the fact that like Jordan Walker couldn't get a fucking hit after his hit streak ended. They had to send him back to AAA. And then there's like I'm just the team doesn't make sense to me. And then the other one that just bewildered, besides obviously the Mets were the top of the list for that one, but and then the Mariners were on that bottom tier for me, and then they started hitting the shit out of the ball, and now I'm like, I don't want to play them later in the year. I don't want to play them ever. I love how the baseball this year, everything's kind of adjusted. I'm interested to see because we play the Pirates tomorrow. Our boy, shout out to our boy Frank, the Pittsburgh native, the Yinzer, our favorite Yinzer. I might have to do a little bet over the phone with him. I'm like, hey, loser, $5 on the game, just like something like that. But the Pirates were like the hot story for a little bit, and then it's kind of just been like the same 7 teams at the top of the cream, man. You got Diamondbacks, Rays, Braves, not Royals. Fuck, I almost said Royals. That's terrible. Houston's kind of stayed around the top. The Dodgers, Twins. That's it. I mean, I guess you can kind of throw in Baltimore and Toronto a little bit.
Well, the whole AL East is a big just mosh pit. It's tough. There's no telling what the AL East is going to look like. I think like trade deadline acquisitions will determine how that shakes out. I mean, the Rays are going to Ray.
Like 3 years ago. NL West 2017 when you had the Padres, the Giants, Diamondbacks, and Dodgers were all 60-win teams at the deadline. And they're like, all right, somebody's got to make a move. It ended up being Arizona and LA because I think LA got Darvish and Arizona got JD Martinez, and the Giants struck out, and then they just fell apart.
Yeah, but speaking to the Cardinals, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Like, it's really hard to put your finger on it and figure out how they suck so bad. Like, what's falling apart? I mean, their pitching staff is not great. Like, let's put that out there. Jack Flaherty's getting shelled every time he pitches. Like,
every time.
Their pitching staff's not good. But they're not hitting the ball either. And I think it's like a terrible case of mismanagement. Like I'm not a baseball manager. Okay. I'm not a baseball executive. This is just an observation from a fan. But when I look at their lineup and I'm going like, what are they doing? Like you said, Jordan Walker goes on a streak of 14, 15 games to open the season. And then he's still hitting.
It was like 12, I think. But like, it was it was impressive. They weren't like dribblers either. He's hitting the shit out of the ball.
Yeah, and he's, they send him down. He's still hitting like 285 or 275 when they send him down. I'm like, what are you doing? You put some guy nobody's ever heard of out there named Burleson, and he's decent, but he's not really doing much. Nolan Gorman has kind of thrown everything off because he's been so good this year. Like, he was just going to be a platoon guy for him, but now, like, he should be playing every day, but they don't play him against lefties half the time. And I'm going, he's your best fucking hitter. Like, he needs to be in the lineup regardless. You're so bad, you need to win games. And I don't know, man. A lot of the decisions they're making are curious to me. I'm just like, this doesn't make sense from a lineup perspective, but okay. But the Phillies are no different. Phillies got a ton of talent and they fucking suck half the time. And I don't get it. It's like they look like the same team they did last year, where they were fucking garbage for the first half of the season. Then they made some changes and got hot and ended up going all the way to the World Series. So I have no idea, but it's a strange environment that we're in this year. Like the different baseball, everybody's pitchers are getting shelled. Everybody's pitchers are getting hammered. I don't know if that has to do with the pitch clock or what, but it's a strange environment in baseball this year. I don't think the dust has really settled and people are actually used to it yet.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think the pitch clock thing could be a big thing too. I mean, you got limiting the time that they usually are warming up to throw the pitch. They probably just making some decisions really quick. Philly, like you were mentioning, I'm surprised with this being 20-23, fourth in the division. I mean, Trey Turner was a huge addition for them, and it filled like a real big need and a hole on that team. Really, after you had Trey Turner, the really biggest weakness was just to see if that manager was going to be, manager quality or not, being a bench coach before. And it's not looking like it's working out now, but I know they have a bunch of, obviously they have a handful of months left, but that's one of my biggest surprising teams. I thought they were going to be competing for, the first in that division with Atlanta. Mets too. I mean, Starling Marte's not looking good either.
Well, it doesn't help that, they lose Rhys Hoskins 2 days before the season.
Yeah.
So now, and then they lose Derek Hall, their backup first baseman, for like 6 weeks. And so they just have a revolving door at first with a bunch of just Joe Schmoes, and Alec Bohm plays over there some, but they, aside from injury problems, it's like you said, it doesn't seem like it's working out. Like maybe they just got hot and it was kind of a flash in the pan.
Yeah, I like getting rid of Joe Girardi for them. Yankee fan, obviously I love Joe Girardi. I think his management style is not going to obviously work with modern day, new generation type baseball, but Rob Thompson is a fun story. I mean, as a Yankee fan, I've seen him, take over when guys get ejected. He's a fiery guy. He loves the game. And, I was hoping it worked out for him, but it might just be a one-hit wonder with that in that season. But Mets too. Starling Marte's not looking that hot. The Edwin Diaz was a major. I think we all knew Edwin Diaz was going to be a huge impact on them in a negative way. I don't think we really. I mean, David Robson's doing very well right now, but it's just a big morale impact on them. Buck's not looking too hot either. Everybody's kind of slow start. Just not what you expected from a team.
We have to talk about the fact David Robinson's still fucking pitching. Isn't he like 45 years old at this point?
I was gonna say, I mean, I was like, I heard on the radio, I'm like, I forgot about this guy.
I remember him being Mo's setup man when I was in fucking high school.
I was at Mo's last game, and I remember they took him out, and he was supposed to be like the next man, like the future closer of that team. That was like 10, 11 years ago, and this man's got to be at least 38, 39.
And he still throws like high 90s, which is wild to me.
Yeah, I mean, he's a solid bullpen piece, but he's not the dude you want to be running out there in the ninth at this point in his career. I don't think. I just don't think he can do it anymore. But Diaz, he was unhittable last year. I had him on my fantasy team for 3/4 of the season, and you lose a guy like that, it's a huge fucking blow. It doesn't matter if you're in last place or in first. You can't replace a dude that is pitching to that level. You just can't. So, I mean, maybe on an all-star team.
I mean, or you could be like me, a guy who has no closer, and yet we're still fucking winning games. We're one of those closer by committee teams, and somehow it's fucking working for us. I don't know how it's working for us, but Torey Lovello, I swear to God, does a line of Coke, a shot of Jack, and says, "Fuck it, Chafin's closing tonight."
Yeah, and it's Chafin, and who's the other guy? McGuff's out. Who's the other guy that's been closing?
Thank God McGuff's out. He got fucking shelled the other night. I was like so fucking done.
I forget. It's
there's
Chafin.
Castro. That's the other one. The kid
Castro. There you go.
I mean, the dude throws a sidearm sinker at 98 miles an hour. It's wild. But the problem is if he hangs it, the thing gets absolutely fucking blasted. I'm just like, this is can I get my El Papa Grande back? I need Jose Valverde back in my life. Oh my God.
Oh man, the D-backs. They got a boatload of young talent, but man, it's gonna be a minute.
Let's go get Archie Bradley back. Put him in closer.
Yeah, why not? Fuck it.
That's
Throw him back out there.
Now.
Or better yet, sign Melanson again. Do that.
Hell fucking no. You get that dirty ass words out of your mouth. That man is evil. Okay, funny story, right? Before we move on, maybe talk a little football for a little bit. What DJ is about to roll through he's our version of AJ Hawk, by the way, Jason. He also is the host of the Hilo Sports Podcast. He's rolling in about 5 minutes. Funny story, last year, Mother's Day, I'm watching baseball. Me and my sister, my dad, we're all chilling. We're waiting for my mom to get home. We already prepped all the house for Mother's Day for her dinner and everything. We're watching Diamondbacks Cubs. It might have been Mother's Day, Father's Day. It was one of the holidays celebrating a parent. Either way, it was Diamondbacks Cubs. Diamondbacks had like 4 home runs in the 6th or 5th or whatever it was. They're up by 5, and then they're up by 4. And they say, all right, let's bring – and I see Melanson come chugging out of the dugout, and I just yell at a giant, fuck! And my mom goes, why are you cursing? I'm like, that man is going to give up at least 2 home runs, give me a possible stroke, and we're going to win because Ketel Marte or Alex Thomas is going to make a ridiculous fucking play to end the game. And what happens? He gives up a 3-run shot within 5 pitches of him coming in, and we win by fucking 1 against the bottom feeder Cubs last year. And I said, you know what? I curse this man's existence. I don't want him on my fucking team. He gets shelled so much. He throws a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, but he tries to throw it like he throws 100. You can't hang a fastball in the middle of the plate at 90. That's batting practice. But
yeah.
Speaking of guys who can be a little toxic, our resident version of our AJ Hawk, this man is the host of the Hilo Sports Podcast. He's our version of Belly Up of the Neuralink, one of the smartest human beings football-wise I know. He also reminds me a little bit of Hunter Renfroe. You don't believe me? Just look at his handsome face. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now from a apartment in Ohio, one of my favorite humans on the planet, DJ Stewart.
Well, we're going to circle back to this toxic thing. What do you mean by toxic now? I bring life and energy and wisdom and mischief, but toxic, I draw the line.
The mischief is where the toxicity comes in. It's more of you're not like AJ Hawk where it just seeps in and the shit you say is hilarious. It's you think about it after you're like, wait, fuck, what? DJ, your shock value isn't in your initial punch. It's what you say afterward. Because You'll say so. You'll be so melodic about what you say. You'll just be like very even keel, very toned, and then you'll think about what you just said, and you're just like, wait, whoa, because your delivery, you can hide your delivery, and that's what makes your comedy fun. Whereas with me, I'm dynamite wrapped in gasoline, doused with a little bit of kerosene for extra fun.
It's the fun part of work. I can basically tell people they're assholes, and they think I'm joking because of the sarcastic delivery. So it's great. Like I can tell them they suck, and they're like, "Oh, that's just you."
Oh, I literally I was training this kid today. He's taking my old job, right? And I said to him, I'm like, and I just in front of a customer, he was about to make we have a running joke at work. It's just instead of cover your ass, it's called CYH, cover your holes. It's just basically, do not fuck up. If you're gonna fuck up, cover your ass, because we're in sales, we're in marketing. Do not fuck up. And so the new kid who took my old job, I'm training him, and I told him CYH, and he's dying. He's laughing. This kid, who it might be a robot 80% of the time, I'm not sure yet. He's a nice kid though. He's just like, he almost is in front of a customer. I'm like, shut your fucking mouth. And I don't think he realized I was sarcastic at one point. It was all joking. He looked at me like, oh, okay. I'm like, no. This wasn't mean. Just don't say cover your holes in front of a customer driving a $50,000, $150,000 fucking Mercedes E-Class outside. Don't be a dick. So, like, I just certain things like that. I try to tell the guys, like, listen, like, there's a lot of sarcasm in my voice, but there's a lot of energy to it. Don't get too confused. But DJ, how you doing, pal? How's your week going?
You know what? It's not too bad. It's almost over, so that's where the highlights kick in as well too. Once the Thursday, Friday area seeps around, that's when it starts to light up as well. So we're hanging in there. We're kicking. We're hanging. We're kicking.
Is it bad? So, DJ, of course, you and Matt know I work at I do marketing and sales for a masonry yard and rock distributor. So, when it pours, there's nobody coming in the office. And it's supposed to pour up here in Connecticut on Saturday. I'm excited because I love slow Saturdays. The last time it was slow Saturday, I got a fucking raise. So I'm kind of like, cool. It's going to be chill. It's going to be relaxed. I can get shit done. This is great. No more fucking contractors and homeowners. The worst part about Saturdays are homeowners have the day off. We scheduled our hours so homeowners can't come in unless they have the day off. Because homeowners are indecisive assholes. They're entitled indecisive assholes. There's about this small 20% that are amazing, but the rest of them demand perfection. I had one guy yell at me over the week because his topsoil wasn't perfectly screened. Dude, it's topsoil. There's going to be pebbles and small twigs. It's fucking dirt. And this guy's like, but there was small dirt. Yeah, no. Like, one lady one time called me for organic soil. Me and the contractor was in front of me, who was sitting there while I was on speakerphone, as a buddy of mine. We almost fell off our chair. I almost fell off my chair. I was laughing so hard, but I had to put up the phone on mute because I couldn't keep my shit together. What the fuck is organic soil? Like, bitch, it's dirt. It's fucking dirt. And what is it about Connecticut that brings up the dumbest customers? I mean, Jason, you lived up here for what, a couple years when you were at Groton?
Oh, God. I lived up there for like 7-8 months, I think, and that was more than enough for me.
Yeah, you understand why I'm the way. See, DJ, you think Ohio's bad. At least Ohio, there's some, like, entertainment, zombies, wild animals. It's just a random state out there in Ohio. But Connecticut's just
depends what part of Ohio you're in. Most of it's fine as long as you kind of avoid the banjo music and some of the weird people like that. It's not too bad. It's when you start drifting into West Virginia, you got to have your eyes on it, your head on a swivel.
Country road.
I was in East Palestine, Ohio, a few months ago. That was lots of fun.
Yeah, yikes.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
The fact that my
Yikes is right.
northeastern ass has heard of that town is not good.
Yeah, now
You got to go to Toledo, Ohio. That's where the Toledo, Ohio is where the hot dog bun museum is.
Oh shit, that sounds like a fucking blast.
Man, I wish I was lying. I had a coworker.
Also, you can go
who's
find
from Ohio.
our friends and founders of Belly Up Sports are located in the Toledo area. You can go say hello to our bosses. Hi, Mike. Hi, Blaine. Oh my God! Well, these are my bosses. Me and DJ's co-host bosses. You guys just are content creators. You guys have free reign. We have to answer to these guys. Oh, speaking of which, I probably should do my job at some point this week. Listen, not all of them could be like Jason, his co-host, who literally messaged me and my counterpart Josh back that they just wanted to help grow and they want to do a bunch of stuff. And when they need our help, they'll ask us. I'm like, I love those messages because the ones who say I want to meet, but then no show for a meeting, take about 2 years of life off me. I swear. I hustle home. I skip a workout. I leave a work function early. This has all happened, by the way, in 3 different occasions. And then they're like, it's like 8:15, and they're supposed to be on at 7:15, and I see them join the lobby as I'm about to leave. Like, hey, I thought you said 7:15. I'm like, I did. Have you checked my Eastern time? It's always Eastern time, unless you specify otherwise. Because 80% of our company is on Eastern time zone. So you have to realize if you're not Eastern, you got to tell me. And so this kid literally shows up and he's like, I want to talk about stuff. I'm like, all right, fine. So for 15 minutes, it's the same shit. And then he complains about stuff at Belly Up for another 20 minutes. He doesn't work here anymore, by the way. He was one of the waves of people that exodused and went to other companies that have since faltered and are floundering. Either way, this kid literally complained for 20 minutes to me, and I'm like, these are all things you could fix. So why are you telling me this? And he was, I think, in shock that I was so blunt. I'm like, you made me wait an hour to bitch and moan about a company I work really hard for when I have the time, obviously. So yeah, no, it's in Kelsey knows exactly. Your co-host DJ knows exactly who I'm talking about because I think I texted him about this meeting after I got off. Oh my god! But anyway, DJ, are you as excited as I am? Because NCAA football is going to be back next year.
Can we just fast forward 365 days?
I know, right? Like, can we just I want my who knows? Maybe by then my Hurricanes will actually be nationally relevant again. One can dream, right?
Maybe on
Jason's like, all right, no. Hey, listen,
Tipper, let's pump the brakes. Pump the proverbial brakes for a minute.
They're gonna love us when we knock Texas A&M off week 2. Come on, it's in my.
Hey man, I'm here for it. I hope it happens. I love it. I love it. It's free content for me when I can say, are they going to pay Jimbo $75 million now to buy him out? You know, it's always a fun conversation.
Also, my hatred of Jimbo Fisher is well documented because of his Florida State.
Oh well, shit, man. You need to get in line. You're at the back of a long queue, Jared. Because
back of a line. We hated him long before y'all did. Shit.
Well, he has assembled maybe the most hateable coaching staff ever between himself and Bobby Petrino. I mean, just go down the list.
Motorcycle mayhem himself, Bobby Petrino.
Yes. Those two people on the same sideline, like, holy shit, man. It's going to be a shit show, and I cannot wait to see it.
I think my favorite part about college football this upcoming season is that I don't even know who the fuck is playing quarterback for Georgia, and I know they're still going to be a top 4 team. Bama is going to. Who's it going to be? Carson Beck. Okay. So this recruit they got though, the new kid, the kid with the super Italian sounding last name.
Dylan Raiola. He's the #1 player for 2024. He'll be a freshman
next year. Okay, yeah. It's crazy because for the first time, I've been a Hurricanes fan since like I was a child, and even that I really wasn't I rooted for them when I was younger, but I rooted for them back when they had like Stephen Morris playing quarterback. All right, like this is a while back. We have Van Dyke, Connecticut boy, who's probably going to be a first, second round pick if he can get his shit together. He has the potential for it. Then we have Ja'Carri Brown, who is a 4 or 5 star. Then we have another 5-star behind him who's redshirting. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, the dark days of Malik Rozier are over. Like, we actually have a quarterback rotation. But then again, we actually need blocking. But we get Zion Nelson back, so I'm okay with that. But also in Hurricane news, also Charleston Rambo, one of my favorite Hurricanes of all time, has signed with the Philadelphia Eagles, and my life is complete. The Eagles have finally signed a fucking Hurricane. The drought is over. So if you couldn't tell, Jason, behind my back, that Rodney McLeod Super Bowl jersey, I am a diehard Eagles fan.
Hey man, Jalen Hurts is my favorite player to ever come through Bama, so I'm happy to cheer. I'm happy to cheer for the Eagles.
Listen, Jalen Hurts is my favorite player in football, so I love that. I do also love no offense to your Bama boys, I love that our entire defense and offense is all Bama and Georgia guys.
Hey man,
if it ain't broke, don't
sweat
fucking
there.
fix
Yeah,
it.
yeah, dude, don't sweat that for me like that. The thing about it that people don't realize, not to just hammer college football here and put my own sport, but like what people don't realize about Georgia is that like why they get all these big freaks. It's because their recruiting budget is $4.5 million. And like the next closest recruiting budget is Bama at like 2.75 million.
I think Miami's is like 1.1, and that was just because of this year with their the checkbook from the dude.
Yeah.
And they made it fucking work.
Yeah, and so Georgia is pumping a stupid amount of money into recruiting and NIL and all that, and that's how they get all these big freakish monsters. And so, yeah, Kirby Smart coached under Saban for a decade, man. He knows how to make big freakish defensive monsters. And so if I'm an NFL coach, I'm like, fuck, that's the guy I want, So
See, I
can't blame him for drafting all those dudes.
See, I'm hoping that Mario, who coached under Saban for what, 3-4 years, 5 years, whatever it was, he can create some monsters because there's some big boys down in Florida. It's not like it's just a bunch of skinny fast boys down there. They got some big fellows down there. I'm really hoping he was able to create a decent O-line at Oregon. He's able to create a great one at I think it was FIU. Before that, like actually give Miami their first good offensive line since like fucking Bryant McKinney was O-line for them. Like actually give them real blockers for once.
I don't think their O-line is going to be the problem. I feel like Mario will fix that because he's an O-line guy. But my main concern for them was like his offensive philosophy.
It
I just don't
him.
really.
It was Josh McGaddis, and they left him literally on the tarmac in fucking wherever the fuck they were.
Yes, I didn't understand the hire when they made it, and then it didn't go well, and I was like, we'll see.
AD got a little excited because remember they have Clemson's old AD, and he got a little excited. He wanted to get the hot name, and then they realized, wait a minute, we have a 4,000-yard passer in the backfield and 3 like 4- and 5-star receivers. Why the hell are we trying to run the football with a bunch of 2- and 3-star running backs?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And from an NFL perspective, you talked about Van Dyke being a first or second round pick. Man, I don't know. I think he's got all the ability in the world, and if he can stay healthy, that's great. But my two concerns with him,
he came back way too early because
Jake
Garcia is the biggest flop we've had at quarterback since Rozier. Like this dude was a 4-star recruit, and he came in and was brutal.
Yeah, but he's got nobody to throw to.
Was the hardest thing I've ever had to watch in my life. The triple overtime game where he dove in for a 2-point conversion. I'm like, am I watching like bottom feeder ball right now? What the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, but Van Dyke's got no one to throw to. He's got no dynamic like game changers out wide.
And
he's
on his kid from Buffalo.
He's on his third offensive coordinator in 3 seasons. It's like, man, if I was him, I would have jumped in the portal. And that's not a slight to Miami. That's just, I would have went and tried to go to a team that has freaks.
Also because if he fucks up, he's got Ja'Carri Brown up his ass ready to go in the game because Brown by the end of the season was actually starting to look like a decent quarterback. But I think we've talked enough Hurricanes and Bama ball, but fellas, we're in the dead part of the offseason, and this is where I love starting like just making and kicking up shit for no reason. And I didn't even have to this week because Davante Adams came out with one of my favorite articles I've read in a long time. So it's been a couple days. I think it's been 3 or 4 days now. For those of you who have not checked out, Davante Adams basically went and did a little expose. I think it was with the Ringer, right? Bill Simmons' outfit. And just no filter, unloaded it. Opening thoughts. DJ, I'll start with you since you're the most recent in the show right now. You're a resident Neuralink. What'd you think about Davante Adams with this article, interview, everything? I was laughing. I'm like, dude, this guy cannot stay out of the offseason spotlight for 1 minute. He has to be in it for some reason.
I do think it was overblown a little bit. I don't think it was too big of a deal. It obviously wasn't a great thing to say, and it kind of, as you mentioned, it puts him in the spotlight and them in the spotlight for no reason. But I don't think it was too bad necessarily. Like, it wasn't great, but it is what it is. Like you said, it's the point of the offseason where anytime anyone says anything, it's going to be put out there, whether it's good or bad. Someone could just be like, "Wow, it sure is sunny." I'm like, "What do you hate about? What do you hate, clouds or something?" Then they'll flip everything you say at this point in the offseason. So it wasn't good, but I think if this was 3 weeks ago or 2 months from now, it wouldn't be as big of a thing.
It was a slow news day. I love. There was one point he made that I liked. Was like, he's like, I want to make sure that like I separate myself from the whole Aaron Rodgers thing. Jackson.
Absolutely.
Oh, no, Rob, stop, you toxic bastard. No, you know, DJ, I will take back anything I ever said about you.
Flag on the play. There will be none of that. Flag on the play.
Robert is the toxic man in this podcast. Rob, listen, I'm going to start asking you while I come on the show at this point. You California bastard. Dude, stop. Never free Jackson. Actually, no. Yes, free Jackson. Because maybe it'll keep Patrick out of the Super Bowl next year.
Oh, he's thinking about you. That's why you said it. Okay, this wasn't for Jackson's benefit. This was for your benefit.
Exactly. See, Rob just wants me to be happy as our resident Chiefs fan in the comments. Like, I know he loves to bust my... Like, listen, nobody gave me more shit post-Super Bowl than Rob. And, you know, I went through the whole season last year trying to keep my mouth shut, watching my Eagles thump teams by 20. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll keep my mouth shut, be humble. Maybe karma will pay off. And then I watch us get robbed by a referee and a kind of a shady holding call. What I call it? Coin flip. Depends.
Just be real. Be real. It was a fucking terrible call.
Oh,
and we all got robbed. I'm not an Eagles fan, but I would have loved to have seen fucking Jalen Hurts down 3 points with the ball with a minute 20 to go.
I would see if this guy takes the ascension to the Jordan level of like watching this dude just put the team on his back like he did against the Colts and against the fucking Cowboys.
If the Colts, that's not bragging. You beat up a JV squad of hooligans.
That was after the Washington game where we basically were like robbed. That game was rough too. That game was even worse. The Taylor Heineke flopping to get a roughing the passer call to seal the game is still one of the bitchy, like the little like snitch boy moves I've ever seen. I lost all my respect for Heineke that play. I thought he was a cool working man's quarterback, and then I watched him flop to get a roughing the passer because it was 4th down. The Eagles would have gotten the ball back with a minute 20 left in field goal, one pass from field goal range, and I'm like, so it took a bullshit penalty to throw us? Like, fuck you, Heineke. Where does he play now? Who's he signed with? The
Atlanta.
Oh, he's in Atlanta. Have fun being the third stringer, fucker.
He'll fit right in with their team concept.
Yeah, bend over, hand over to Bijan. Like, and the other thing is, any of y'all watch Good Morning Football this week and see oh my God, we get it. You love that you love Brillo Pad Kermit like shit. Like that motherfucker's hair is iconic now. Okay, we get it. I think Mahomes is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Am I sick of how the NFL is trying to shove his ass down my throat about every other ad? Yeah. The one thing I liked, at least Brady was a fucking villain. Like they're trying to make me like Mahomes. I can't stand the motherfucker because of how the NFL is trying to shove him down my mouth, shove him down my face. Oh my God.
All right, Brittany.
Oh my God! All I'm gonna say is just
Tell us how you really feel.
Super Bowl 57 is still one of those days this year where I'm just like. Also, the fact that soon my friends start arguing politics and police shit in the middle of my living room during that fourth quarter drive by the Chiefs, I'm like, both of you shut the fuck up or get out of my fucking house. And they're like, all shocked. And I'm like, it's surprisingly the two non-sports people who just want, like, one is one of my best friends, but the other one is like, I had to invite her because she invited me to her birthday party the week before. And I'm like, I'm a dick if I don't invite her. So, but then all my friends gave me the green light never to invite her ever again. And I'm like, yes.
So Super Bowl parties are not meant to be actual parties. They needs to be a group of sports nerds gathered around saying "oh-ish" to every other play. You can't have actual people as a party. Otherwise, especially when it's your team involved, because then you're going to be real pissed.
Oh my God. Well, so 90% of my fans, 90% of my friends were like, dude, we got your back. we're chill, go Birds. Like, this is it. Like, we'll keep quiet. Even the ones who weren't even sports fans were like, yeah, we're rooting for the green team. We're doing this. I'm like, fuck yeah, guys. I love it.
Team.
But I'm like, even my sister, who has watched maybe 20 football games her entire life, is like, go Birds. He walked up in her Eagles hat. She goes, hey, where's my McCoy jersey? I threw it over to her. She wore that the entire game. But that's why I appreciate about my friends' family. They know how much the Philadelphia Eagles mean to me. Same thing. It's like the Diamondbacks from the World Series. They'd be wearing all red or black or teal or sort of that sandstone beige that the Serpentes jerseys are. But like, people understand, like, my sports teams it's everything to me. So Hurricanes, Eagles, Diamondbacks, like everything. Timberwolves, Tar Heels, and Penguins is like, yay!
No, even if the Timberwolves got to the finals, you'd still be complaining about them. You'd be like, God, I hate Cat, that little son of a bitch. Even if he was averaged a 40-point triple.
The only reason I don't fucking hate his guts completely is because he's an Eagles fan from Jersey. That's the only reason I don't fucking hate him completely.
That's a big boy.
Also, because he lost one of his best friends at like age 22. Because he was apparently like best friends with Mac Miller. I never knew this, but apparently they were like really close.
He's seen some shit, and especially the last handful of years. He has seen.
Oh
some
yeah,
shit.
also his mother fucking died during COVID. But like,
And grandma.
usually that makes a guy tougher. It made him softer, which is unfortunate. Like, just trade him to fucking Portland or something, and like, let's go get a fucking real player who actually wants to help Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert actually win a fucking chip.
Him and Dame would be pretty cool, since Dame would take care of most of that stuff too. Just be like, Cat, just go be a big ass.
Yeah, just go get rebounds and go score points.
Get
Or
your big ass on the
send
left
him-
block and just be ready.
Send him to Oklahoma City.
He might not start on that team. They're getting loaded.
I know. Or we can send him to Charlotte. He can go play with LaMelo.
Now
That
you're
team
being
would-
more unusual.
No, like, they'll finish 8th in the East and they'll get smoked by the Celtics or Bucks every year. It's great.
Scary Terry might steal one if the Celtics or the Bucks take a night off.
Yo, fair enough. All right. I don't got any other football shit tonight, unless y'all got some NFL topics you want to pull your ass. This is the offseason show, fellas. So we got about 20, 30 minutes left. It's open season. Topics you want to bring up, grievances, clowns of the week. DJ, can we officially say that Jaw is the king? He holds it.
Back to back. He's back in his throne. He's gonna be holding that for a minute.
Bryce, take it away.
That's a clown question, bro.
He's pretty cemented it. I think he's got his spot for a while.
This is still from the Star Wars thing, but I'm keeping it up there because I love it. Listen, John Morant is the king of the Clown of the Week segment. This man has held the title for almost 20 out of the 30-something, almost 20 out of the 28 weeks we've been on the air this year. I think the only one that like wasn't was I think the turf guy from the Super Bowl, and yeah, I think that's it. I don't think anybody else has held the crown this long. Yeah, Jaw's the king.
Yeah, the only nominee I got is the Toronto Blue Jays entire team, but that's not enough for to overcome Jaws shenanigans.
Can I also talk about the fact that everyone thought like the guys were talking about tipping off pitches and then Judge hits a moonshot? It's like Judge looked over. Yeah, I guarantee because somebody saw behind the guy's face he had a four-seam fastball.
Well, it was funny because they were obviously they're like, all right, what is Aaron Judge doing? Which, I mean, I'm not trying to be a biased fan. I don't know. Judge, I don't hear anything about this guy at all unless it's during a game. I just feel like this guy just does nothing wrong. However, being one of the faces of baseball, this man could be juicing for all we know, and I bet you MLB would never even announce that. I think he's like Patrick Mahomes, where the league is going to protect guys like him and Ohtani and things like that. But the pitcher came out and was like, yeah, I was tipping pitches. I wasn't careful with them. So that acts that one out. I just thought it was funny, the little scuffle they had yesterday, and the Husky Blue Jays manager is telling the Husky Yankees bench coach that he needs to shut up, fat boy. And I was like, dude, you're a little husky there, buddy. You both might be a little chunky. But that was great. They were yelling at Luis Rojas. I don't know what it was. And Luis Rojas is the last person I think I want walking up on me. That man is a giant man. For a short little guy, he is built. And that was a lot of fun. So we got 2-1 in that series right now, trying to take it 3-1 series. But We'll see.
I still think the Bants of Fodder, the only nominee I can think of, the other one is the Mets general managers and training staff. How this team has the payroll of all payrolls, and yet is, I believe in. I mean, Jason, you know your division better than me. I believe they're in 4th place or 3rd place in your division.
They're right around 4th place. The Phillies were in 4th to start the day, but I don't know what the Mets game, how it ended today. I think
they
beat the
won.
Rays?
They won.
Okay, so they're 22 and 23. They're probably in 3rd. So
okay,
yeah, they're in 3rd. So wait, so if I just looked at it, so the Nationals and the Phillies are behind the Mets. So does that mean Miami's in 2nd?
yeah,
which is fucking hilarious.
That is
They're such a bad team.
Miami's funny, man, because they've won. I think they are. It's been a really weird season for Miami because they are like 14-2 this year in 1-run games.
Yeah,
which has got to
we were
be some
victim
kind of
of
fucking
two
major
of
league
those.
record. So
We were a victim of 2 of those.
yeah,
But
Never thought
what's
you'd see
wild
the
to
day.
me is that you have Alcantara and you have Jazz, and then 80% of baseball fans can't name another fucker on that team.
They
man.
got Avisal Garcia, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know
but by
who the fuck
the-
that is.
yeah. But I'm gonna tell you right now though, that like look at the Rays.
The Luis guy, whatever his fucking name is, one was like an
Luis
MVP.
Luis Arias.
Arias,
he won.
he's like 8th in MVP voting right now. I'm like, holy
Well,
shit.
yeah, he won the AL batting title last year with the Twins. I mean, he's a good hitter. But like, look at the Rays right now. Can you name me one?
Randy
fucking-
Rosarena? No.
Yeah, besides him or Wander Franco, can you name me a whole lot of Rays hitters? No one can.
No.
It's a bunch of
Yandy
fucking
Diaz,
Joe
man.
Schmoes, and they have a $51 million payroll, and they're going to win 100+ games. So.
Yeah. Well, so they have a dominant pitching staff that they can just throw guys. They have, I think, their 7th guy is better than a lot of 3s in baseball right now.
And none of
I
us
think
could
he-
name. And none of us could
No,
name like.
but they're just
2 through
fucking
5.
good. Like we can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
It's
their
like
best
it's like
pitcher is
Kansas
like
City Chiefs receivers. We don't know who the fuck half these guys are, but they're still dropping 100 yards or like 8 strikeouts on whoever they're playing. It's not
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. They lean hard into that metrics, all the advanced metrics, and they do weird shit with their pitching staff where they'll pull a guy out after 5 innings when he's pitching a perfect game. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? And then they win, and you're like, well,
You know
okay.
what I love
never
about
mind.
this year for baseball is like I've had so much fun watching this game this year because my team is a team that has benefited exponentially from the new rules. Bigger bag, more stolen bases. My team is either the second fastest or the fastest team in baseball. Also, we got smoked by the shift last 3 years. A lot of pull hitters, a lot of guys who like hitting the ball in the gap. You can't shift outfield anymore. Can't shift infielders. That's why our hits are so high because they got rid of that stupid fucking shift. It's beautiful watching baseball actually be baseball again, be balanced instead of this over shifted like. I think I actually. Oh yeah. So last year in the show, I lost a no hitter because of the shift. The game auto shifted. I had a guy 3-2, 2 outs in the 8th. I hang a slider, but it's outside enough where he's just gonna tap it, and it just rolls down the third baseline. But everything was shifted to the right. It was like Joey Gallo or somebody who was like a Deadpool lefty, and he
There
just
you go.
dribbles it down the line. I lose a fucking no hitter in MLB The Show because of it, and I literally was like, I'm like so mad right now. All I want to do is shut my controller off, but I'm up by 10, and this is the only hit he's getting tonight. I think it was with Zach Gallen too. Like I literally was on point. Maybe with Merrill Kelly. It was either one of the Diamondbacks aces. I was ready to go, but
you may be the only person in history of sports to lose a perfect game or a no hitter to Joey Gallo because he hit against
Joey
the shift.
Gallo, the guy who's killing it for the Twins right now. There, Matthew. Come on.
I mean, hey, look at Sonny Gray. Some people just are not meant to be in big time markets.
Also, your team's a bunch of toxic, overhyped dudes, man. Listen, guys need to lose Cashman, lose that whole no beards bullshit. The one Yankees team that was likable was 09 because they allowed beards. They had fun. They were a fun team to root for because of Swish, Burnett, all those dudes. And then the second that team won the World Series and they did their celebration with Alicia Keys and Jay-Z, they went back to being their old fucking pencil pusher, pixies from Fairly Odd Parents selves, and I hated it.
Don't sleep on the mustache era. That was I love when everybody had the mustaches like 5 years ago with Brett Gardner.
Show me some Charlie Blackman beards, you bitch.
I wish they would. I mean, at this point, at least if you're gonna have I can understand maybe you want clean cut like hair, but like just give him the beard. Let him have some facial hair. Breaking news with the Yankees. On a very unfortunate, Josh Donaldson has a minor setback. Oh no!
Oh, no.
What will we
Rain
ever
Man.
do?
What a shame.
What will we
He's
ever?
been hurt every year since he made the cover of MLB The Show.
I can't express to you how much I hated that trade when they got rid of. I didn't mind they got rid of Gary Sanchez. I was waiting for that guy to go. The man just was losing his power and his defense was never there. So you just had just a shitty a catcher that was losing his job to Austin Romine. But then you send Gio Urshela to the Twins and you get IKF, who just is like so bad that they have to play him in the outfield just to give him some at bats. Hit his first home run the other day, first home run since September 26th of last year or something like that. You get Josh Donaldson, who's just $25 million a year to ride the freaking medical bench and just hit you maybe 12 home runs. And you get Ben Roethlisberger, who has just started to get back healthy after like a year and a half. And Gio Urshela, man, he is not the world's greatest, obviously, player. He's not like a future Hall of Famer or anything like that, but he's such a good defensive third baseman. And he was always clutch for us with the base hits, getting on base. And I hated that trade. I still hate that trade.
I got to wonder about Aroldis Chapman. He's been looking pretty good in Kansas City lately. I wonder what happened to that guy with the Yankees. Like, is he just a fucking complete head case? Or
Do they make him just fucking drink that water from the South Bronx? Like, what is it?
Honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with our, not our medical staff. Well, you could probably pin them. I'm thinking more of the training staff, like the trainers and everything with the strength and conditioning, because our players are always hurt every year. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't know what these trainers are doing. I knew every year when Chapman was hurt because he would have a stretch of games where he wouldn't throw higher than 98 miles an hour. So I always know when he's hurt. But he's in Kansas City. He's pitching 102. I haven't seen him pitch over 100
He hit
in like a year or so.
104 last night.
Yeah, I have not seen that man throw over 100, honestly, in like a season and a half. I swear he'd just been topping out at 98, and he's always was hurt. And I just would always, obviously playing the training
$50
staff.
he's on the move in June or July to some team. Like, I think I can't even think of what would happen if he goes to like Arizona or Colorado. Like, it won't be called if he's gonna go to like a high altitude or like a thin air ballpark like Arizona where he throws his pitches are gonna come in probably like 106 because of that freaking air. But if somebody makes contact, god damn, that ball is going a fucking country mile.
Yeah. Just ask
I personally hope he gets traded to the Mets.
That would be the most Mets thing of all. Watch, and with the Mets, he's actually dominant. Like, he does not give up a fucking run. Because, Matt, I respect Yankees fans. I think they're great baseball fans. But the one thing I hate about you guys is you think your team is the gold standard. Yes, 27 World Series. I love it. My biggest problem with Yankee fans is there's a reason only certain players play well there. Because a lot of athletes are weird motherfuckers. And Yankees do not like weird motherfuckers. That is what happens. They need straight-laced guys who are all about winning, and who all they care about is baseball. And sometimes, like, Ketel Marte walks around with dreadlocks and enough chaw hanging out of his mouth to, like, actually pack a golf ball. He would not work in New York. Clayton Kershaw has a weird Texas accent, has the wonkiest windup of all time, and prefers to pitch in weird ways. Zach Greinke, same thing. Neither of those guys work in New York.
No, I mean, it worked back in the day with guys with characters like Gardner or Swisher and things like that, or it's just not current day. They look for like the next Aaron Judge, a guy who literally speaks only if the media asks him a question, doesn't do anything outside of baseball that you see online.
Only his girlfriend gets in trouble. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I agree. I mean, what do we have besides the history? And I mean, history's great, but like everybody cares about what's in the now. Like the Yankees have nothing in the now to boast about, to hype up about, anything like that. We have an extremely high payroll. We're in fourth place by a half game. So There's nothing. There's no gold standard about that at all. And I don't know. Brian Cashman he addresses one need and then he just retires from the offseason, like as if he just won it. Like you re-sign Judge and get Carlos Rodon, and the man just quits and is like, I did my job. This is good. This is all we need. Then you got Rodon that's got chronic back issues. I don't know when the timetable is for him. And then you got Aaron Judge that's missing weeks of baseball because of injuries already. I think Cashman needs to go. I've been praising for Boone's firing for the last season or two as well.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our one of our guests today has to head out right now. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to Jason Bailey. Jason, where can we find your amazing show and your amazing content?
Oh man, we're on all the interwebs and social media at South End Zone Pod. That's Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You can find us or just search the South End Zone and we'll pop up. And, if you guys want to come and listen to us chop it up about college football and some degenerate behavior, perhaps, because we do dabble in some degenerate behavior on our show.
That's why I invited you on the show, because I listened to the pod and you figured it fit in well today.
Yeah. So if you guys want to come in and pop in with us and hit us up, man, we put out a show every week.
Did y'all drop an episode in the last 24, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, we put one out today. Yep. We had Joey Kaufman from the Columbus Dispatch on to talk about Ohio State football. So all you Ohio boys, feel free, jump in there, give it a listen.
Oh God, I can just smell the nastiness out of that interview. Hey Jason, ladies, we appreciate you coming by, making the Korner Booth debut. We appreciate you stopping by, my friend. Have an amazing weekend. We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
You too, man.
Thank you, man.
All right, fellas, it's the OG3, but minus Mason. Anything's off topic. About 5-10 minutes left. I'm not gonna keep you guys the full hour and 30. Baseball, NBA. Listen, we got a good game tonight. We got LeBron. We got Jokic. Game 2 tonight. Y'all think the Lakers got a shot, or are we swinging back to Denver again?
I think Lakers. I think the Nuggets take this one, but I think it's close. I think it's going to be home splits through the first 6.
I think Lakers take this. Lakers. I'm sorry. I think Denver takes the series, and then my big surprise is I've already got $10 on it. I think the Heat take it over the Celtics in the end. I think it's gonna be a Game 7 type thing. I think the Heat advance. I got the Heat win the whole thing pretty much. I like the underdog. I just really like Jimmy Butler. Excuse me, Himmy Butler. That is who I meant.
You mean Michael Jr.?
Yeah.
It's Timothy of House Butler.
But yeah, no, I think Denver gets the best of Lakers in that series, and I think Miami makes some surprises in there.
Nice. I have a free bet for DraftKings, so I'm just doing a parlay right now. It's going to be ridiculous because fuck it. That's why.
I don't want to talk about betting right now.
Listen, DJ, I finally broke my dead streak I've been on since the NFC Championship game. I finally hit a parlay.
God damn. Kyle Lowry, I needed 4 assists from you, and he gave me 1, and I would have had a 19
I needed 2 blocks from Bam, and I would have won $80. I feel your pain, my friend.
Then I needed LeBron to hit 2 threes. I hit 19 other parts of the leg. For number 20, I needed 2 threes, and he couldn't even attempt 4 for me.
The other news that I can think of is I know the Jets are trying to reconstruct Aaron Rodgers' contract, and they just freed up $13 million or $12.7 million with Carl Lawson. So you got to be thinking, and also if you're a Jets fan, hoping that all of that freed up money is going towards Quinnen Williams.
100%.
Hopefully, I'm seeing all these posts like what's his best landing spot. I'm like, I'm that man. Joe Douglas can re-sign players. I've seen him do it with Franklin Myers, with Quincy Williams, and other guys. He's not like old Jets general managers where they just let the players walk or trade them away. I really think we lock this up. I'm hoping we lock it up by in a couple weeks or maybe next month. But other than that, all my Aaron Rodgers merch is just shipped, so should be here next week.
It's like Quinnen Williams is a top 5 interior D lineman and a top 10 overall D lineman. Arguably, like you can't just let him walk away. Like that's the cornerstone of your defense. I know everyone loves themselves some sauce, but like Quinnen Williams is what that defense is built around. Oh yeah.
Listen, fellas, we all know the 3 most essential positions on a defensive team are: you need a field general linebacker, that is the 3rd most. You need a shutdown corner, and you need a dominant interior defensive end. A defensive guy to stop the run and allow edge rushers to have 1-on-1 matchups, because edge rushers are a dime a fucking dozen.
Yeah.
Look at Philadelphia; they have 5 guys who could average 10 sacks a year.
Quinnen Williams, C.J. Mosley, and Sauce Gardner are the 3 for us.
You know what's
Oh,
so funny that my
DJ
my
Reed,
aunt's
too.
one of my aunt's best friend's daughters dates CJ Mosley.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like she goes, yeah, Jared, my friend. I was at their house helping them with the yard work. She goes, yeah, my friend's daughter. She dates a guy who plays on the Jets. I'm like, great. What's his name? She goes, I don't know. He's got a very simple, very quick sounding last name. And I'm like, okay. She goes, oh, he has pink dreadlocks. I'm like, CJ Mosley. She goes, yeah. And I'm like, what? She goes, what gave him? I'm like, he's the only guy in the NFL who has pink dreads.
Yeah.
So she goes, yeah, he's a very nice man. I met him once. I'm like, that's
Very nice young
awesome.
man. I think he's in his contract year. I think we actually got him for this year because he opted out of the COVID year. So I think this is his last year of his technical 5-year deal.
That's wild. I never even thought about that shit. All right,
Honestly,
fellas,
blessing in
PGA
disguise.
Championship game update, by the way. John Rahm, the Masters champ, shot 0 for 6 over, shooting Jared style today. Oof. He is right now. I'm going to take this bet for the boys. John Rahm is plus 11,000 to win the fucking thing, man. I'm gonna place a little $1 bet for him to win to place top 5 because I'm a big believer in old clubfoot and I want him to win. So, John Rahm, you're getting a little like $18 bet, $18 win from me if it happens. But DJ, any predictions for? I don't know if you're a big golf guy. Like, I don't know if you like to partake in that, but I'm kind of feeling a Scotty Scheffler win right now. But like, I don't know. It's like I gotta watch the replay today and see like who actually shot like shit. Because it's weird. Like, I've never seen this course before. I went and looked up who's won at this course before, and I didn't get any help. So I'm about to ask my Snapchat AI if they can figure it out for me.
I'm gonna probably lean towards Dustin Johnson if I had to pick. I'm not a huge golf guy, but I'm gonna lean towards Justin Johnson. But once again, I'd have to watch and see how they shot today to see if he had a good day, a bad day, a rough day. But that's just the one I kind of felt going into. It was kind of for my opinion, that was where my money would go if I was willing to bet money on it.
I'm gonna go with Justin Thomas for like a $1 flyer to win because he had a decent run at the Masters and it's been a while since he won. There's a lot of, what's crazy is like this is the first time since I was a little kid where I actually recognized like 8, 10, 15, 20 golfers, and it's kind of nice. Like I'm kind of like, oh, cool, I know all these guys. And of course, I'm going to put my boy from Texas, Scotty Scheffler. I would love to see John Rahm come back and at least get like a top 5 finish. That'd be great.
Imagine you got second and just pissed you off because that means your bet wouldn't quite hit, but it'd still be a great run.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't care. Like I bet on him to finish top 5, and it's still even top 5. It's still like an $85 win for me, so I'm okay with it on a $1 bet. So I'm totally fine, dude. Starting 6 over is fucking brutal. Oh, by the way, speaking of golf, shout out to our friends at Mahler Bros. Now they are sponsoring, of course, the NFL Bowl predictions. So maybe we'll do a little one before we leave. Because DJ didn't get to really air his out, but I actually went and bought a polo today. I bought the blue camo. It is badass as fuck. And they make regular fit, slim fit cam, and we're in the works with Mahler Bros about making an exclusive Korner Booth crossover hat with them. It's gonna be a nice trucker style, maybe a little red camo or gray camo with the red logo, and it's gonna be a nice mesh back for the golf course. Me and Matt will get them. Obviously, DJ and Kelsey will as well. Kevin and the boys. We'll make sure all of our friends and fam get them, and we're gonna be able to sell them to you. Check out MahlerBros.com. Promo code Belliot for 15% off. And DJ, you texted me your NFL Bowl predictions. If you want, I can read them off, or you can read them off right now. If you want to rescind them and change them, I'm giving you this out right now.
No, we're sticking by. We're holding true. I'll go and run through them and give each one of them a
Fuck yes.
explanation for us. So starting off at the top, number 1, not 1, not 2, but 3 AFC North teams are going to make the playoffs next year. The Ravens are the Ravens. Lamar's locked in. I think they're going to bounce back. This is all contingent on them staying healthy. So if he gets hurt again, you can't hold me to this. The Bengals are going to take a little bit of a step back on defense. You lost both of your starting safeties. You still got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and squad. You're fine. You're not winning 13. You might win 11 or 12.
Yeah.
I'm still not convinced that the Browns are going to suck next year. I'm really not. I know they've had a rough Deshaun look kind of poopy down those last 6 games, but I don't think that's going to stick. He's probably going to – it's not going to be 2020, but he's not going to be bad as last year.
Mhm.
That team's loaded top to bottom, and the Steelers never go under 500. So if I had to guess, at least 3 of those teams make a playoff run. Maybe 2 of them tie at 10-7. One gets 11-6, some weird like that. But give me 3 AFC North teams to make the playoffs. Number 2, no NFC QB is going to pass for more than 4,000 yards because Jalen Hurts is going to get like 3,600, but he's going to give you 700-800 on the ground, kind of like what he does last year. Stafford, I need to see him stay healthy. Dak, need to see him not throw picks. Derek Carr, we'll see. There's a chance there, I guess. But like you go down the NFC quarterback list, Jared Goff's nice, but I want to see if they continue that, especially with no receivers now.
Mhm.
Kirk Cousins, we'll see what you can do when everything's not falling your way, unless Justin Jefferson will give you 2,000 again. So I'm going to say no NFC North quarterback quite passes for 4,000. Bunch of 38s, 37s, a lot of good seasons. Not trashing them. I just don't think there's going to be anything to stand out like that. Excuse me. Then for number 3, the first overall pick in the draft will go to a team that either doesn't need a quarterback or already has a young quarterback. So a team like the Cardinals or the Panthers, I guess the Panthers don't have it. So like the Bears via the Panthers, the Colts. So one of those teams already has a quarterback is going to get the number 1 overall pick next year. And holy cow, the haul they are going to get back for the Caleb Williams / Drake May sweepstakes. My goodness, they might just be a blank check at that point. Like pick every draft pick you want from here.
I have a really bold prediction about Drake May and Caleb Williams, by the way. I have a really strange itching that Drake May will be the first overall pick next year because Caleb Williams is going to have some kind of issue. He's going to have a rough game in the college football playoff next year where he's going to throw a couple picks against whether Georgia or whoever the fuck they play. And scouts are going to pick it apart. He's not going to want to do his pro day. He's not going to want to throw, do whatever. And it's just going to be enough where he's going to be the number 2 overall pick. And Drake May goes number 1 overall.
I think it's very possible, especially if Drake May goes off this year, losing Josh Downs and losing the guys that he had.
No, Carolina is going to be the team to beat in the ACC this year.
And I think if Drake May if he's able to do everything he did last year, this year without those weapons, I think that's going to open a lot of people's eyes too. And if Caleb Williams does it without his weapons on top of it, I sat
there last year and watched him just drive right down the field against Miami. I'm just like, dude, this motherfucker looks like a pro quarterback. He just ain't missing. And I'm like, by the way, Clemson is going to have like 4 losses this year. Cade Klubnik is fucking awful. He's not a good quarterback.
Good luck, Clemson. I agree.
Like Clemson might
lose
lose to Miami if they play each other. Like that's how bad this team looks. Like also, by the way, Florida State's not winning the fucking ACC. Can we stop?
NC's walking with that, barring Drake May either taking a plummet from earth like a Matt Barkley, or if he just ends up getting hurt. But it's Drake May.
Relax about the Jordan Travis hype train. Like that is one guy I cannot get over how much people hype him. I'm like, he's okay at best.
They got to reel that in just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, I like right now. I was watching because we have Samsung TV Plus on our freaking TV at my office, and they have CBS Sports HQ running constantly during the day. So I'm always caught up on highlights, which is great for the show and great for our content. But one thing that drives me nuts, one of their guys is an FSU alum, and is like, "Oh, FSU is the 8th highest odds to win the national title." I'm like, how? How?
What have you seen to give you that indication?
I know they beat us by 30, but we were a defeated team at that point. Y'all broke Tyler Van Dyke. No, it's hilarious. I have 2 little a double. It's kind of a double little prediction in one. I think that the Eagles will once again be top 5 in the league in rushing, but Jalen Hurts will run for less than 500 yards this year. Because he's not going to have to run for more than 500 because of Swift, Penny, Gainwell, and Scott.
I think Swift will be the lead running back for sure.
Swift, I think, will run for almost. Swift will also, I think, will break the Eagles single season rushing record in the next 2 years, because apparently we're going to re-sign him if he stays healthy. Like Howie's like, I can get this dude for a deal. Like I guarantee if he plays 10 games healthy and he's around 800-900 yards after 10 games, Howie will throw him a deal that's like a bargain bin for like a top tier running back, but it's enough where like we can keep him and it won't kill us. Either him or Penny's going to run for 1,000 yards. I just don't know which one's going to stay healthy and do it. The
Yeah,
Eagles
I'm
were like,
lying.
"Hey, we got 2 lottery tickets here," and honestly, they could probably still have Gainwell run for 1,000 behind that O line. So I don't care. But it's like, hey, we got 2 lottery tickets. Let's see what happens.
I've
But
got
AJ,
I think Jalen's gonna have about 4,200 yards passing next year. They went and got like Charleston Rambo, who was one of my favorite receivers in college, because all he does is just get open and be physical at the point of attack. And they need a slot guy who can do that. And they have Quez, who's just a burner, but everyone's like, oh, they got that guy from Atlanta. It's like, no. He ain't making the team. That's Rambo's spot right there. Rambo is the Eagles' new slot weapon. Just watch. This kid's going to be a nightmare.
It'll be interesting to see, especially with that Super Bowl hangover, if that is a thing, that's the thing that happens to them. Obviously, it hasn't happened to the Bengals last year, so it's not something to put a lot of stock into, but it's something to see if it potentially kicks in.
See,
And losing
a
both
hangover when you got robbed. If you got your ass beat, that's different, or if you lost just because you lost. But when you got robbed, that's a whole different ballgame.
They also lost both coordinators. I'm throwing that in there.
But one of the coordinators, who I will not say looks like anybody, rigged the fuck out of that game. He basically was quitting on them pregame.
Everything leading up to it, though, he helps get you there, though.
I want Jonathan Gannon's scallop on a fucking stick. 50 grand. It's happening. I will do it. I will find that money.
You damn liar.
I will find that fucking money for Jonathan Gannon. Oh, no. I just want to see Gannon suffer in Arizona. The little fucking asshole. Couldn't fucking try hard for one more game.
I don't think that's going to be too hard. I don't think they're going to be very well.
They're going to be fucking.
There might be one of those guys that's in the Caleb Williams, Drake May sweepstakes I could trade out of it.
Yeah, no. I think Jonathan Gannon is going to be a 2-year or less coach in Arizona. I think that was a bad fucking hire. I was happy because he got him out of fucking. I was rooting for him because I wanted him off our fucking team. But I was like, the second he went there, I'm like, yo, he's fucked.
I'm looking at for my first one. I'm looking at. I think that this is the year, finally the year that the Jets snap their playoff drought, and I think they get in this year. I'm not going to give them the division just yet. I think it's Buffalo's until others, until be told or whatever. But I think they can sneak in a wild card, get maybe like 10, 11 wins at least. I think I can really realistically see. So I think they end their playoff drought of like 13 years and they get in this year. I'm looking at. I think Denver moves on from Russ after this season. I don't think this is Sean Payton's particular quarterback that he's looking for. I just think this is the best quarterback that he's going to inherit with what was available at the time for him that was interested in his services. But I think this is a down year again for Russ, maybe a little better than last year, but I think they keep Payton, obviously, and they move on and they get their own quarterback next year, whether it's a draft or a trade. But I don't think Russ is in Denver after this year. And my last one is my surprise NFC West divisional winner. I think Seattle takes it. I'm looking at the San Francisco 49ers. I know that's obviously the best team in that division talent-wise. But Trey Lance didn't look too hot in his couple starts he had. I mean, we all know Sam Darnold right now is just not a good quarterback, not somebody you want your starting season on the line with. And then Brock Purdy, I don't know when he's going to come back healthy. And if he's going to be the same quarterback as last time after, again, I think it was like Tommy John surgery. So I'm thinking Geno Smith, who plays like he did last year with Jackson Smith, with Tyler Lockett, with DK Metcalf, and Kenneth Walker. I think that's going to be a fantastic offense for them. So I've got the Seahawks winning the West, Jets ending their playoff drought, and Denver moving on from Russ getting a new quarterback next year.
We definitely agree on the West. And what sucks for the 49ers, we don't even know if Trey Lance is good because he's 22, so he could still be fine. It's just like you haven't played. And you were incredibly raw coming out. Like everything they said about Anthony Richardson was clear with Trey Lance, the same thing. And when he is in, Kyle Shanahan treats him like Larry Zonka and is like quarterback power, quarterback dive 19 times a game until he snaps. So I agree with you until I know if Sam Darnold's going to play, unless there's California Sam Darnold's a real thing where he starts slinging dimes, or Trey Lance is secretly a hidden weapon. I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback.
You know what's so funny about Sam Darnold to me, and this is hilarious. So I guess Kyle Brandt, I think I brought this up on the show, how Kyle Brandt basically was like, there was a whole topic on Good Morning Football about how the 49ers need to get over losing to Philly. I want them to keep talking. We play them next year. I want to run them off the field in the most embarrassing way possible. I've grown a hate for the Niners Because their players are such sore fucking losers.
Might have to cancel the Thursday show if Sam Darnold throws 5 touchdowns on the Eagles. So if he comes in and throws 5, we might have to cancel the show for you that week.
Also, come on and say they fucking suck ass.
Okay, as long as you're consistent, that's all we ask.
I don't know if I'm in the minority on this one. I really think that Kyle Shanahan's offensive scheme is like the one scheme in the entire NFL that can actually mesh well with Sam Darnold. Like I think he could excel in that offense if he obviously comes out and actually plays well. But I mean, you give him McCaffrey, you give him George Kittle, you give him Debo, you give him Ayuk. He's got a pretty good offensive line in front of him. I don't see how this man can't succeed, but I just think Shanahan's style of play with his offense, I think, can mesh with Sam Darnold, or at least a whole lot better than the scheme that he was in New York and Carolina. But I don't think it's entirely impossible for Darnold to actually perform well if he is a starter for a decent amount of time.
He's only 25. I mean, it's not like he's an old man now. There's plenty of him for him to learn there as well. He just has to get over getting tortured.
Wild. He's only 25. I forgot he came out as a sophomore. My crazy thing about this whole the San Fran thing is that like they're really bagging Brock Purdy's that dude. Like seriously, I really don't understand how. Like, what kind of world are we in that Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold, and Trey Lance are the answer to quarterback of the 49ers? And like the only quarterback besides Jalen Hurts worth of value in the NFC is Dak Prescott. Everything else is just
Derek Carr's there still.
And my boy, he plays for New Orleans. I fucking hate him. My boy Jared Goff.
Your reasoning's good there.
I fucking hate the New Orleans Saints. We all know this. I literally told TJ straight to his face last week. I'm like, I fucking hate your team. I love you as a person though. So it's like I can't like get mad at him, but I hate the Saints. I would say Jared Goff is 3. If we're gonna talk quarterback in the NFC, he is my 3rd. Because Goff proved to me last season he can still fucking sling it when you actually put weapons around him. And I think once they get JMO back, week 6, they'll be fine. They're gonna win. They're gonna run away with that North because I guarantee the Vikings are gonna implode and the Bears are gonna be that team that's 1 year away. Everyone thought they were ready to go, and they need just a little more time.
The Vikings' biggest issue is that defense, and they didn't address anything with that defense. So
the Vikings' biggest issues are the Vikings. They find ways to lose themselves games. Come on,
except last year, but yeah.
There'll be a team that puts up 25 points a game and they lose because their defense gives up 30.
Yeah, I actually agree with that.
I do want to see Jared Goff be good next year because his entire career, he'll have a great year. Then the next year, it's like, well, what the hell happened here? Great year. What the hell? We're in the Super Bowl. What the hell happened here? I'm curious if we get that continued or if here in Detroit with Ben Johnson, it stabilizes to, well, look what we have here. Or if it's Hendon Hooker season.
I'm excited because I want to see who do you guys think? Okay, like last thing before we roll out here, who is your early prediction for your offensive and defensive rookie of the year? Maddie, I'll let you roll first.
Offensive rookie of the year. Oh man, I'm not gonna pick my own team. That's very biased. I'm not gonna do that. This is tough. I'm thinking of every single person in here. Give me I'm gonna go with a bold one. Give me like Kenneth Walker. I like that.
Rookie of the year.
Oh, I thought you said offensive player of the year. That's why I was struggling so much. I'm just thinking the entire league. I'm thinking not rookies.
You gave him that Ben Simmons rookie of the year.
Yeah, I did. Defensive rookie of the year, I'm going with Will Anderson on this one. It's probably too safe of a pick to choose, but I think he was one of the best players in that draft, not in a quarterback position, and I think he's going to just light it up and be what J.J. Watt was for the Texans.
For defense, I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagle, but not the way you think. I'm going Nolan Smith is going to win the NFL Rookie of the Year. I think he's going to be that other freak edge rusher for Philly. What you're getting with Sweat and Barnett and Graham, and Sondrek's going to put up at least 14, 15 sacks, but I think Smith's going to come off the edge and kind of fill in for what you're losing with Hargrave. Everyone's looking at Jalen Carter, but I think Jalen Carter is going to struggle initially, but I think Carter's going to have a rough early half of the year, but by the end of the season is going to be a dominant player because he's going to be learning from Cox, Thomas, And hell, they fucking are talking about bringing Sue back around 1 year deal, which is hilarious. But listen, I would love to get Sue back. I'm not gonna lie, he was great with us. But either way, yeah, no, I think Nolan Smith is gonna get a double-digit sack season this year, and he's gonna be defensive rookie of the year.
I'm gonna go to the back end. I'm gonna say Christian Gonzalez is gonna be defensive rookie of the year. For some reason, they let the Darth Lord of the Sith, Bill Belichick, get that freak of nature. He's gonna put him out on an island. The Patriots are probably gonna stink a little bit, like probably 7-10, something along those lines. It's not gonna be Gonzalez.
Stink for the Patriots is fucking hilarious.
I think that defense is going to be really good, and Gonzalez is going to have a very Sauce-esque rookie year where all those great receivers going to go against. He's going to hold his own, and people are just going to talk about him. So give me Gonzalez just blocking people up on the edge.
There you go. All right,
they're scared.
There you go. Offense rookie of the year, Maddie.
Offensive side, I'm going to go with Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think he's getting Geno Smith on a career year. Obviously, Geno Smith is not, a Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts kind of quarterback in the NFL, but looked very good last year, and I don't think this is really a one-and-done year for him, so I'm rooting for him. Obviously, I like him as a former Jet, but I think he's got a lot of options on that offense, but I think Jackson Smith is going to fizzle out Tyler Lockett a little bit and just use his speed and is going to get open more and just get some more of the looks in the games, but I like Jackson Smith to take the offensive rookie of the year this year.
All right. I'm going to go with CJ Stroud. I think he's going to absolutely light it up in Houston. Are they going to win more than 7 games? No. They win 7 games, yes. That is my prediction. They're going to win at least 7 games this year. But Stroud is going to have one of the best quarterback rookie seasons since Cam Newton. He's going to throw a lot of he's going to make some mistakes, but he's also going to throw a lot of touchdown passes. That AFC South is not good.
No.
You basically have the Jaguars, his rehab home that he calls a football team, and then also, by the way, the other bold prediction, I'm like, what if Will Levis is actually like really fucking good? Mark Stoops is just a moron.
Which is very likely, honestly. But at the same time,
I hate reacting to the practice squad throws, but dude's on the run and beat double coverage and put on a zip line. I'm like,
I wish I would thrown the double coverage, but.
Well, I mean, listen, he's either going to throw 40 picks or throw 40 touchdowns in his career. I don't fucking know. He's going to he's Jameis to me. He's white Jameis. That is literally who Will Levis is to me, is white Jameis.
Vanilla Jameis.
There it is. Jameis. But yeah, no, I think CJ Stroud is the offensive rookie of the year. I think he's going to absolutely light it up. My backup was Quentin Johnston for the Chargers. I think he's the speed that I think Justin Herbert's kind of lacked in that offense, because unlike Mike Williams, who just wants to post up and play basketball, I think Johnston likes to get vertical and likes to actually move and use his agility. So I think that'll be a great balance in that San Diego offense. But I think CJ Stroud is the guy. I think, unfortunately, BJ Robinson is going to struggle in that offensive line for Atlanta.
Yeah, I saw they're trying to use him as like what I think Urban Meyer was trying to use like Etienne as like a receiving. They're pretty much trying to make him like Cordell Patterson 2.0. They're throwing him out as a receiver. They're throwing him out as a running back. I'm like, let the man just run the ball, create some holes. They're doing a lot with him. I think it's going to be a rough first year, like you're saying. I think they should win offensive line first, but is what it is. We'll see how that goes.
As much as I want to pick Anthony Richardson and be that biased, I think if he does get a chance to play, I think he could do some RG3 rookie stuff. I'm going to avert from being biased on that one. I'm going to take Zay Flowers, the receiver for Baltimore, because I think by the end of it, he might end up being the receiver 1, depending on Odell and Rashad Bateman's health. Ability to get open at all levels, fast, athletic, incredible route running. Lamar's never had anything like that where some guy could just get open for him quickly. That's going to make his life easy. So give me Zay Flowers to crack 1,000.
There you go. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we are officially rolling out of here. We appreciate y'all for stopping by. Shout out to our official sponsors, Mall of Rose, 15% off any purchase at checkout. I, of course, picked up they dropped like 17 new styles today, by the way. I highly recommend. By the way, the material is amazing. I actually have one already. I have my blue camo one on the way, and I'm excited because everyone knows me. I love my camos. It's the hick in me. I can't help it. Super comfortable fabric, great for golfing, super flexible. And also be on the lookout for a Mauler Bros crossover with Korner Booth for a Korner Booth camo hat. 15% off there. Obviously, we brought to you by SeatGeek. Promo code BellyUp for a substantial discount on your first ticket purchase. And of course, our friends at Canadips. We didn't do a dartboard today, but they deserve some love. They just dropped, of course, their Rippers collection. Check them out at Canadips.com. Promo code BellyUp 20% off. This, of course, is my favorite flavor, the Palmy. Arnold Palmer flavor. You can't fucking beat it. And of course, they dropped a grape one as well, so it should be fun. But we appreciate y'all stopping by. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and DJ. Where can we find y'all amazing content?
You can find us every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube, Twitter, everywhere, pretty much everywhere we go live. Catch us on your favorite podcast devices the next day, Apple, Spotify, whatever, Spreaker, whatever you need as well too. And you can just follow us on social media, everything from Instagram to Twitter and everything in between as well. We went ahead and talked with our good friend Zach Kyleman, the football savant, if you will, about some alternate football yesterday. And he gave us a little bit of a rant about the Lakers and some of the Bears recap as well. So definitely go check that out.
Zach Heilman is one of my favorite humans, even though he came on the show once, and then Kevin compared Joe Paterno to a Nazi, and I never think he recovered the entire rest of the show.
That's a tough thing to get exposed to right away. Like that's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, Kevin is just Kevin, and when Kevin is rolling, it's a lot to handle, and I don't think Zach was ready for it. So I always love Zach. I appreciate him as a human, and I can't wait I hope to talk to him soon. But that was my one impression of Zach. I was like, oh, he wasn't ready for that. And I yelled at Kevin after the show. I'm like, dude, come on. But it's all good. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you stopping by. Shout out to our sponsors, K-Dips, Belly Media, Yeats, Mauler Brothers, and SeatGeek. We will see you guys, or Mauler Bros, sorry. We will see you guys on Monday. We're actually going to do a show this Monday. It's going to be a fun time. I actually might talk sports. I don't know how, but we're going to do it. Mason will be back next week. Finally, after his month-and-a-half hiatus of trying to pass finals and move back to his hometown, we will see you guys next week. Peace.